The crystal chandelier in my daughter Emma's dining room cast perfect light over the Thanksgiving table. 23 people were gathered around the extended oak table, and I sat at the far end, the spot usually reserved for the least important guest. "Mom, could you pass the rolls?" Emma asked without looking at me. I reached for the basket, my simple cotton dress a stark contrast to the silk and designer labels surrounding me. My son-in-law Marcus sat at the head of the table like a king surveying his kingdom, his Rolex catching the light as he carved the turkey. "So, Margaret," Marcus said loudly, ensuring everyone could hear, "still doing that little, what do you call it, consulting thing?" The table went quiet. All eyes turned to me. "I keep myself busy," I said calmly, buttering my roll. Marcus laughed, that condescending sound I'd grown to recognize over the past 5 years. "Busy, Mom. You're 72 years old. When will you get a real job?" "Oh, wait." He paused for effect. "I suppose at your age it's too late for that." Laughter rippled around the table. My son, David, chuckled. My other daughter, Lisa, smiled into her wine glass. Even Emma, my baby girl, didn't defend me. "Marcus makes a good point, Mom," Emma said softly. "We worry about you. That little office you rent, those clients you mention but never talk about. We just want you to be realistic about your situation." I took a sip of water. "Realistic? I see." "We're not trying to be mean," Lisa added, exchanging glances with her husband, Tom. "But you're living in that tiny apartment driving that old car. Meanwhile, you keep pretending you're running some kind of business empire." "I never said empire," I replied evenly. Marcus leaned back in his chair, warming to his subject. "Look, Margaret, I'm going to be straight with you because someone needs to be. You're embarrassing this family. My colleagues ask about you, and what am I supposed to say? That my mother-in-law plays businesswoman at 72. "Marcus," I started. "No, let me finish." He held up his hand. "I've built everything you see here. This house, I bought it. The cars in the driveway, mine, the lifestyle Emma and your grandchildren enjoy, all me. And I did it with real work, not whatever it is you pretend to do in that closet you call an office." My grandson Tyler, 15 years old and glued to his phone as usual, suddenly looked up. "Grandma, why have you just retired? Dad says you barely make any money anyway." "Tyler." Emma's rebuke was half-hearted at best. "Well, it's true, isn't it?" Marcus pressed. "Margaret, be honest. How much did you actually make last year? 10,000, 15? The table waited. I could feel their pity, their judgment, their complete certainty that they understood my life. I smiled, the same smile I'd perfected over 50 years in business. "Marcus, could you answer a question for me?" He looked surprised. "Sure. You're the VP of Operations at Titanium Industries, correct?" His chest puffed slightly. "Senior VP actually just got promoted last month. Congratulations," I said genuinely. "And the company is doing well, exceptionally well. We just landed a major contract." "Why?" "Just curious about my son-in-law's success." I took another bite of turkey. "David, you work at Morrison & Associates, don't you?" My son straightened. "Junior partner." "I thought you knew that, Mom. Of course. And Lisa, you're the marketing director at Prestige Cosmetics." Lisa nodded slowly, unsure where this was going. "For 3 years now. Wonderful. It sounds like everyone at this table has done remarkably well for themselves." I dabbed my napkin at my lips. "Marcus, you mentioned wanting to be straight with me. I appreciate that. So let me be straight with you." The room had gone completely silent. "When will I get a real job?" I repeated his question. "Well, that's an interesting question. Let me think." I pulled out my phone, the new iPhone Marcus had mocked me for buying last month, saying I was wasting money at my age, right after I fire you from yours. The words hung in the air like smoke. Marcus's face went through several expressions: confusion, amusement, then concern as he registered that I wasn't joking. "What are you talking about?" he demanded. I opened my email and turned the phone to face him. "This is the email I received this morning from my Chief Operations Officer. He's recommending the termination of several underperforming executives. Your name is third on the list." Marcus's fork clattered against his plate. That's impossible. You can't." He looked around the table for support. This is ridiculous. Mom's having some kind of episode. Emma, your mother is confused. I'm not confused, Marcus. I kept my voice gentle. I'm Answer Chen. Margaret Rose Chen. Perhaps you've heard of me. David's face had gone white. Mom, Mr. Chen is the founder and CEO of Chen Global Industries. I finished. Titanium Industries is one of my subsidiaries. I acquired it 12 years ago. The silence was absolute. You're lying, Marcus whispered. Mr. Chen is... Everyone knows he's a man. I smiled. I never corrected that assumption. It was useful. People underestimate women in business, especially older women. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish when people think you're irrelevant. Emma's hand trembled as she set down her wine glass. Mom, is this true? Tyler Google Ansar Chen, I said to my grandson. The boy's fingers flew across his screen. His eyes went wide. Holy Grandma, this says Ansar Chen is worth $3.7 billion. 3.9 as of this morning, I corrected. Goody year. Lisa's husband Tom started choking on his water. Wait, Morrison and Associates, we just got a new majority shareholder last year. That would be me. I confirmed through one of my holding companies. You're doing good work there, David. Your last case brief was excellent. My son looked like he might faint. Marcus had turned an alarming shade of red. This is insane. You're trying to intimidate me with some kind of elaborate prank. I tapped my phone again. Siri, call Robert. The dial tone filled the room through the speaker. Margaret. A warm voice answered immediately. Happy Thanksgiving. I wasn't expecting to hear from you today. Happy Thanksgiving, Robert. I'm sorry to bother you during the holiday. I'm at dinner with my family and something has come up regarding Titanium Industries. Do you have a moment? Of course. Is everything all right? Could you confirm for everyone here that I am in fact Chen, founder and CEO of Chen Global Industries? The pause. Is someone questioning that? Should I be concerned about a security issue? Marcus's face had gone from red to gray. No security issue, just a family matter. Thank you, Robert. Enjoy your turkey. You too, Margaret, and yes, for anyone listening, Margaret Chen is absolutely our CEO and has been for 43 years. One of the finest business minds I've ever had the privilege to work with. I ended the call. Emma's eyes were filling with tears. Mom, I don't understand. Why didn't you tell us? I did tell you, I said quietly. I told you I was consulting. I told you I had clients. I told you I kept busy. You all chose to see a confused old woman playing at business instead of listening to what I actually said. But the apartment, Lisa protested, the car. You live so modestly, I live comfortably within my means. I don't need to prove my worth through possessions. I looked directly at Marcus. Unlike some people, Marcus found his voice, though it shook. You can't fire me. I have a contract. I'll sue for wrongful termination. You can try, I said pleasantly, though I'd read Section 12, Paragraph 4 of your employment agreement first, the part about grounds for immediate termination. Robert sent me the documentation this morning. Apparently, you've been using company resources for personal investments. Insider trading is frowned upon, Marcus. His face confirmed everything. Mom, Emma whispered, tell me you're not going to fire my husband. I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. She'd grown into a woman who sat silent while her husband mocked her mother, who raised children who thought dismissing their grandmother was acceptable. Emma, I'm going to tell you what my mother told me when I was your age. You can't build a marriage on disrespect. Marcus doesn't just disrespect me. He disrespects you every time he makes decisions without consulting you. Every time he teaches your children that cruelty is entertainment. This is blackmail, Marcus snarled. No, this is consequence. I stood up, my napkin folded neatly beside my plate. Marcus, you have until Monday morning to submit your resignation. You'll receive 6 months severance, more generous than you deserve. I suggest you use that time to think about the kind of man you want to be. And if I don't resign, then I fire you, and the investigation into your trading activities becomes official. Your choice. I turned to David. You're doing excellent work at Morrison and Associates. Keep it up, and we'll talk about making you a senior partner in the spring. David couldn't seem to form words. Lisa, Prestige Cosmetics is being acquired by one of my beauty brands. Your job is safe. In fact, I'm recommending you for VP of Marketing for the entire division. You're talented and you've earned it. Lisa's mouth opened and closed soundlessly. Tyler, Emily, I address my grandchildren. I'm setting up education trust for both of you. Full ride to any university you choose, plus graduate school if you want it. All I ask is that you remember success isn't about looking down on others. It's about lifting them up. Emma was openly crying now. Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I walked around the table and kissed the top of her head. I know, sweetheart, we'll talk. But right now, I have another Thanksgiving dinner to get to. Where? Emma asked. My building downtown. Every year I host Thanksgiving for my employees and their families. 400 people this year. I try not to miss it. I smiled. They're the ones who helped me build this little consulting business after all. I gathered my purse and coat. Mom, wait, David called out. We didn't know. We should have listened. Should have believed in you. Yes, I agreed. You should have. But I understand. It's easy to overlook people, especially when they don't fit your idea of what success should look like. I pause at the door. The question now is, what are you going to do with this information? Marcus slumped in his chair, his empire of arrogance crumbling around him. As I walked to my old car, a vintage Mercedes, I'd restored myself because I enjoyed the work. My phone buzzed. Robert again. Everything okay? He asked. Perfect, I said. Though I might need you to expedite that Morrison and Associates partnership paperwork for David and fast-track Lisa's promotion. Family, you guessed. Family, I confirmed. They didn't know, did they? Not a clue. He laughed. Margaret, you never cease to amaze me. How did they take it? I thought about Marcus's face, Emma's tears, the shock rippling through that dining room. Let's just say, I replied, starting my car, it was the most memorable Thanksgiving we've ever had. As I drove toward my building where 400 people who'd never underestimated me were waiting, I smiled. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying someone. It's simply letting them see exactly who you've always been and watching them realize they never looked.